Hello, good morning. I still have a few minutes left of the morning. So this isn't my usual talk. I usually talk a lot about future tech. But when I spoke to Solar, I'd been thinking about this for a long time, this kind of Me Too movement. And I don't know how dramatic it was here in Europe, but it really sent ripples through kind of corporate culture in the United States. And of course, you know, as with any news cycle, it came and went. Right? And so now we're left with, you know, definitely some positive change, but a lot of women are still confused and they're angry and they're frustrated that there really wasn't enough change, right? A few people lost their jobs, a few others got slaps on the wrist. But the sad thing is that, you know, even men, the good men, right, which is the majority of men who are allies, right, who want us all to succeed, they're finding it very difficult to engage with women now, especially in the workplace, right? They're a little bit scared, right? Because the rules have changed, but no one really knows what the rules are, right? And everyone's kind of dancing around and trying to be overly careful and politically correct, and it's just a poor way of communicating. So I did a talk right in the height of the Me Too movement, and these three really cool young women came up after, and they're all Instagram influencers with, you know, millions of followers. And they said, "We loved your talk, you know, and we love women in power." And they handed me this sticker that said, "The future is female." And I loved it, and I put it in my wallet, and I carry it with me. But I kept thinking that yes, this is our time, right? As women in tech, as women in business, this is our time. But we can't do this alone. Right? I love working with men. I've had very good experiences working with men. I don't want us all to be dancing around this issue. This is so much more than just gender, right? It's not just about gender any longer. It's really about all of us. It's about how we are going to change the paradigm of communication, of unconscious bias, of social mores, and move together in a positive way with a positive construct. So the future is diverse. And the future is superhuman. Right? So diversity is not a mandate or a marketing strategy. It is a necessity. And companies that are out there, you know, waving a banner and saying, "Oh, look, we put some ethics into practice." Or we've made sure that our women are getting paid as much as men, but then they're making a whole PR campaign about it. That just seems false, right? So it's the next generation's responsibility to lead companies where this is genuine change, right? There's not some subtext to it. So why is this important? Because it is coming. There is a tsunami of tech upon us. Right? XR, AR, VR, MR, whatever we're calling it today, AI, blockchain, robotics, and the rise of the machines, right? It's 25 years until we merge with machines. So with all of this technology comes massive responsibility. So do you really want AI hard-coded by a sweaty guy getting Postmates of Taco Bell, never leaving his parents' basement? I don't think so, right? If we leave AI to be coded by the gilded few, we're gonna hard code unconscious bias, conscious and unconscious bias. So, this came a little early, but we all need to get in the game. That doesn't mean you need to learn how to code AI, but become part of an organization that promotes open AI architecture or blockchain. And get involved. Get involved in your company. Get involved locally. Because humanity is our currency. You know, people are afraid of robots taking our jobs. That's going to be the case. If you're doing, you know, a rote job, you'll be replaced by a robot. But it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity to get back to what counts. It is our humanity that is the currency of the future, right? We cannot code AI to communicate the way that we do, right? We're able to elevate our standing. So the best way to predict the future is to create it. And this seems like this circuitous journey to get to this message, but I promise I have a point. So I think there are 4 pillars. There's probably 400 pillars, but I'm going to talk about 4 today. And this is what I think we're all responsible for in ourselves. And number 1 on that list, and I wish I would have played Aretha for us, but respect. We need to treat each other respectfully. Again, irrespective of gender or race, nationality, whatever it is. Respect, for me, is number 1 on the list. And empathy. So we're here at the World XR Forum, and VR is the empathy machine. So we have an opportunity to teach the next generation of students and the generation beyond them really what it is to be empathetic, right? And this is very, very important. And discipline, right? It takes discipline to manage our emotions on the fly, right? So when somebody is being aggressive to you, one of the things that we do immediately is we react, right? And it's fight or flight. We either retreat or we react in anger. But we don't necessarily think maybe that person has their own private hell that they're going through. And that's why they're behaving so poorly, right? There are horrible people in the world, but most rational people aren't acting out for no reason. So if we have the discipline to take a moment to be empathetic and reply respectfully, think about how differently everyone's interactions would be. And finally, direction, right? Instead of all of us seeing red and being angry, right? Let's focus on a point in the future where we want to be. And we can leverage technology to that end and learn to communicate better. So use our humanity to build the future that we want to live. And so respect, empathy, discipline, direction. This might be a new way of seeing red. Shifting gears a little bit. What makes a great leader? So there's a woman who I love to follow. Her name is Ellen Langer. And she shows this in her talks. Raise your hand if you know what this is. All right, now take a look at it, and then once you think you know what it is, raise your hand. Okay. It's a cow. Do you guys see it? Did you think it was a cow or something close? How many of you did not see the cow at all or see anything and just think I'm crazy? The point is now, every time you see this image, you will see the cow. Just because I've told you now that it's a cow. So Ellen Langer, who is the first female professor to be tenured in the Harvard psychiatric department, or psychology department, talks about mindfulness in a different way than we think of in terms of meditation. She talks about rethinking thinking in a way that causes us to challenge what we hold to be true, right? 1 + 1 is 2. You ask that to anybody. But 1 + 1 is 1 in a binary system, right? You have 1 piece of gum, add it to another piece of gum, you still have 1 piece of gum. So again, it's challenging what we know to be true, bringing that knowledge to the conversation, but allowing to be present. All right, so think bigger. What do I mean by that? We are consumed with the minutia of our daily lives. We're in our phones, on social media. We're on this kind of hamster wheel of running home and doing the dishes, and we're admired in sort of small things. Part of that's just life. Part of it's by choice. I always ask my kids when they're fighting about something, are you going to remember the outcome in an hour? Or a day, a week? Are you going to care if you won this argument? Then stop. And we do it too. We waste a lot of time. So let's find a way to use that time for good, for reasonable pursuits. Think about the future. What is the future that you want? And it can be personal, or it can be grand. Right? I know exactly what my future in 2025 looks like. because I'm thinking about it. So my idea for all of you is think about what your future is, because I bet you don't have a picture. It can be personal, or it can be any one of these topics. But think about it and draw a picture. Because that is how we get to the future of us that is positive, that is a cohesive global society. Now I'm saying think smaller. I'm contradicting myself. What I'm saying is, thank you, use your power, right? We have powerful people in the room. Powerful men, powerful women. We have the ability to change outcomes for people in our immediate circle. So this is the goal. So this is #me+3, right? Find 3 people, I bet you can think of them right now. 3 people in your immediate purview whose lives you can change for the better. And you don't have to stop there, because I couldn't find a picture with only 4 people. So if we do that, the possibilities are endless, right? We don't stop at 3 people. But this is how we enact real change. We move past the anger, we change the paradigms of how we communicate, and we become equal partners moving forward. It's time to tell a new story. I fundamentally don't believe in a dystopian future. I just don't. Why would we believe in that? We don't have to. So I love this quote, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." This seems very lofty, but it's not. This is actually very practical. And I hope it inspires just a little bit of change. And if so, everybody wins. And don't forget to think outside the cow. Thank you.